Hello, dear students. Good morning to everyone. Today we are going to see a new short story, All Summers in a Day, written by Ray Douglas Bradbury. You might have heard about the Ray Douglas Bradbury. He was actually an American fantasy science fiction writer. Okay. Now, science fiction, when the writers used to write the stories, it is classified into different types of stories. Okay. So, fantasy stories, fables where animals are the characters. Okay. Horror stories, mystery stories, then investigation or detective stories, comedies, tragedies, like this it is classified into different. Among this we have one particular type of fiction that we call it as a science fiction. Okay. And Ray Douglas Bradbury is very famous for all these type of stories. He has written fantasy stories, where you see more of the supernatural elements are been involved. Okay. You might have seen the story of Alice in Wonderland, or you might have read somewhere, or you might have read the stories of Aladdin and the 40 Thieves. Okay. Or so such type of stories are full of fantasy. Then horror stories and mystery stories, fictional mystery stories, then comic and Aesop fables. It's a collection of fables. Again, it's full of characters, are animal characters. Okay. So his short story All Summers in a Day actually it is set on the planet Venus and describes in vivid detail, means very clearly in detail, the day when the planet experiences sunshine, an event that occurs only once in 7 years. Okay. Now this scene is set in school where the teachers and the children wait eagerly the appearance of the sun, because the sun appears only once in 7 years. And the story explores the darker side of the human nature that is to manifest even in children, as they pick on Margot, the character, one of the child in the story, simply because they see her as different from them. And Bradbury's tales, most of the Bradbury's tales actually ends on a note of hope, as the children seem to feel shame and remorse for their thoughtlessness work. Okay. Now this story, though it is a story related to some scientific facts, some scientific things, planet Venus, rotation and revolution of the earth, then blooming of the sun once in 7 years. So these all, besides all these scientific elements discussed inside the story, we have the characters also, the school children who are so eagerly waiting. The children are in the planet Venus, and they are eagerly waiting for that marvelous day when the sun is going to rise and the sun's rays appear. And it is like, once in 7 years it happens, so they are very very eagerly waiting for that day. So that is what the title here seems to be mentioned as All Summers in a Day, means the whole experience of the summers. We have summers 3 to 4 months in our country, but there they will be experiencing the whole feeling of the summer in one day itself. Okay. So that is how the title is selected here. And many of the stories begin with first person narrative or a third person narrative, or okay, sometimes the writer himself becomes the speaker. Okay, sometimes the characters themselves become the speaker and they begin the story. So here we see that the characters directly, we involve to a conversation here, which actually gives a live impact of the characters enacting their roles inside this particular story. Okay. So the story begins like this: ready now, soon. Do the scientists really know? Will it happen today? Will it? So now, when the beginning opening scene of the story is that, all the people are very curious. The people who are there on the planet Venus, they are actually very curious to know that really that day, the day which they are eagerly waiting from last 7 years, will it be going to happen today? And that day is today, and they are waiting that eagerly for the sun's rays, to see the sun rising, and to feel that warmth of the sun's rays, and that to feel that sun basking, etc. Okay, so that is why here say they have a communication or conversation here, thinking that, do the scientists really know? So he says that, do the scientists really know? Will it happen today? Will it? So he says that, do the scientists really know that? Will it happen today? Will that happens today? That amazing thing, will it happen? Look, look, see for yourself. Now all are so eagerly waiting, and everyone want to just peep out of their windows and to find out whether the sun has come, whether it has started rising, whether the sun rays are started. So everyone says it. Come on, look, see for yourself. The children press to each other like so many roses, so many weeds intermixed, peering out for a look at the hidden sun. So now what the children are doing, normally what happens when something happens outside in the playground. So we see in our classroom situations, all will go and stand near the window. All will be, standing so closer. All will be standing, mixed up, pushing one another and making lot of fuss and noise there, and they are eager and curious to see what's happening outside. Similarly here also we can see that all the children are pressed to each other, means they are falling one upon the other, and they are standing closely to look outside whether the sun has risen. And here the writer uses the children, the group of the children, like metaphorically he compares it to those roses which are pressed one after the other, or those weeds which are seen growing together, okay, intermixed and peering out for a look at the hidden sun. So all the still the sun has not risen, and all are eagerly waiting to see that from which direction the sun is coming, whether the sun rays are seen or from where it is come. So all are so curious, and so they don't have that patience to see. Now what happened when they were looking in like this with lots of curiosity? Suddenly it rained. Now all the hope of that 7 years waiting, and it's like shattered or for a second. So it had been raining for 7 years, thousands upon thousands of days compounded and filled from one end to the other with rain, with the drum and gush of water, with the sweet crystal fall of showers, and the concession of storms so heavy that they were tidal waves come over the islands. Okay, so it says that it had been raining for 7 years. So what is the peculiarity of this planet Venus is that from last 7 years it's continuously raining, isn't it? If it was in there on the earth, definitely all the places will be under the flood, isn't it? So here it had been raining continuously for 7 years, and thousands upon thousands of days compounded and filled from one end to the other with the rain. All the end of that planet Venus was completely filled with water from one end to the another end. And with the drum and gush of water, when there are severe flood occurring, the water, how it flows with full force, full energy, and lot of pressure, isn't it? To understand the word gush of water, I'll give an example. Like you have just connected a tap to a pipe to a tap, and you have not opened the tap. Now all of a sudden when you switch on the tap, water unexpectedly comes in large quantity, and it just blows away. So that is what you call it as a gush of water. So here it says that with the drum and gush of drum, again that hitting of the water coming with lot of force and making the sound, with the sweet crystal fall of showers and the concessions of the storms so heavy they were tidal waves come over the islands. So sometimes it falls in it falls like a crystal of showers. Sometimes it comes in the heavy storms. Okay, sometimes it comes covering thousands of the forest areas, and it forms a tidal waves, etc. Okay, so because from last 7 years it had been continuously raining, so you can imagine how much difficult was the life for the people there on the planet. Venus, and they were not even able to step out. Okay, so 1,000 forests had been crushed under the rain and grown up 1,000 times to be crushed again. Now, when you read this story, you have to keep in mind, you have to think of a future planet. Venus is something which has a life on it, like trees are there, water bodies are there, people are living. Okay, and though it's not that big as Earth, but still it has a life there also. Okay, so thousands of forests, so because of this severe rain, it was been imagined that thousands of forests had been crushed under the rain and grown up 1,000 times to be crushed again. And this was the way life was forever on the planet Venus. So this was the way the life used to be on the planet Venus. There used to be severe rain, the forest and the trees used to crush again, there will be severe storms, tidal waves. Okay, and everywhere water and water. Okay, and nothing else. And this was the way. So almost you can imagine that the people were dying to see a sunlight, isn't it, that their life becomes too much in trouble also. And this was the way life was forever on the planet Venus. And this was the schoolroom of the children of the rocket men and women who had come to a raining world to set up civilization and live out their lives. Now here actually we have discussed that the children are peeping out of the window curiously to see whether the sun has risen or not. So actually these children were the children of those people, and the location here, the venue or the place mentioned here is a school and a classroom. Okay, and where a few children are there. Okay, and these children were actually the children of the rocket men and women. Now who are these rocket men and women? Obviously they are the scientists, the people who have come to this planet Venus to set up a civilization. Planet Venus, again it's mentioned, it's a raining world. Okay, so they have come here to set up the civilization and live out their lives and live their lives here. And it's stopping. So this is what you get a introduction about the planet Venus, and what type of planet it is, what type of civilization it is, what type of climatic conditions exist there. And now the children says it's stopping, it's stopping. So when it's the rain, it's already raining, and they saw and peeped out of the window, they found out that it's the rain is becoming lesser, it's going to stop. So a little bit of curiosity aroused, and they became started getting excited. Okay, yes, it's get stopping. Margaret stood apart from them, from these children who could ever remember a time when there wasn't rain and rain and rain. So Margaret is one of the character here. We have so many characters, so many children characters mainly, and a teacher in the of the school. And such one character is a Margot, who is actually can be called as a protagonist, mentioned by the writer here. So she stood apart from them when all the children are very curiously watching outside the window that whether the sun has risen or not. Margaret seems to be staying away, apart from them, aloof from them. And these children who could ever remember a time when there wasn't a rain and rain. Now these children are also not very when they are very small children, and when 7 years before, when the sun has risen on this planet, they don't have that day in their memory also, because they were too small at that time. And now that is why they are so curious, suppose in so curious, and they don't know how the sun looks, what is the shape of the sun, how the warmth of the sun is felt, how it is. They have no idea regarding that. Okay, so that is why the children are so curious to have a look at the sun, to feel that warmth of the sun, etc. So what they have the knowledge about the sun, the heat and the light that sun gives or provides, is what they learn from the books itself, or what they have the bookish knowledge itself. They have not seen in front of their eyes, neither they have experienced. Okay, so I hope that you understood this much of the paragraphs we have dealt with today. So we'll be continuing in the next video tomorrow. Till then, thank you. Have a wonderful time. Take care.